1 2 1 2. Killa Kela inside the place. Flash TV. You know where it is. Peace. Beatbox-wise, it started for me at a real early age. It wasn't even called beatbox, it was just something that I used to do, and my father was a drummer, so that was obvious inspiration. And then my mum was into like soul and R&B, Motown stuff, like early Barry White and Michael Jackson stuff. So I got into the vocals that way, and as of an early age, it just progressed into merging the sounds I was doing to the vocal. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, when you're creating anything, you make sure you've got the syncopation right and you've got the rhythm. The other thing is like the breath, the spurts of air doesn't come from the stomach or the lungs. It comes from the pockets of air in your mouth. I don't know the technical terms for it, but I just call it as an equivalent. Like you're yawning or taking a drag of a cigarette. It's that kind of air. With the hi-hat, it's pushing that air out through any holes that you can simulate that sound. So it's like that, or you've got like a bass kick, which is kind of like a B and a P with your lips together, yet again pushing like the air out, the pocket of air as well. And then you've got like the snare, which you can kind of create your own snares. I mean, that's kind of what I did. Hence, there's quite a few snares nowadays that titled of my own. But that that can range from inwards and outwards and using the tongue and stuff. So it's quite a diverse thing once you kind of get your own style and your own sounds out. The mouth. It's easy for me anyway because I'm really good at doing it. There's things I can't do, because everyone's mouth is different, and in fairness, there's some sounds out there that other beatboxers do that I just wouldn't want to do because it's definitely their own sound and stuff. Because that's like the key to anything, right? But I profess at being the best at what I do. When I first saw Razel, I think what you got to remember about Razel is he defined a new generation of beatboxers. He was the guy. At the age he was, at the time of when beatboxing was having a resurgence. He set precedence of what the new trend of beatbox became. And the difference is a more synthetic sound. Things like I don't know, the element of ventriloquism up against the beats. That also become a huge important. Doing the beat and singing at the same time. When I saw him do it, I immediately thought I can do that. That was the first thing I thought, and it wasn't a huge presumption. I did think it takes time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I remember hearing that when I was like 12 years old or something, 13 years old, and when you've already got an idea of how the beatbox works, it was only just a matter of time. You just keep practicing, and that's why I say to any beatboxers or people wanting to beatbox, actually, practice does make perfect, because you can be that next person if you want to be, I think, bearing in mind the beatbox came from an electronical age of the 80s, and the name beatbox in itself is the name regarding the beat machine that human beatboxers copy. I think it's only natural that things sound a little bit electronic with beatboxing, and I don't think there's anything wrong with trying out equipment and making it sound even bigger and better. But if I was to look at the live element, which beatboxing kind of dominates, I would think that a lot of beatboxers at the moment can do with a little bit more syntheticness and getting a little bit more into like tightening the edges of their sounds just to be a little bit more electronic, you know, being a bit more kind of synthetic themselves, I think. Generally, I'll do a sound to begin with, and then I'll curve it to sound like something. I'll never hear something and be like, oh, copy that. It's more like I'll do it, and then I'll think of the sound that it sounds like the most, you know. It is a bit of a Clark Kent situation. I don't really like going around beatboxing. I kind of save that for the stage and sound checks and stuff. I rarely practice. I don't even practice anymore. You know, if something comes up and I know automatically I can do it, then I'll leave it until the sound check. Only because like the mic, the acoustics, the speakers, it all makes a difference to when you're performing it. When I was younger, I used to do so many routines and try and do them before I do sound check. And when it comes to grabbing the mic and doing it, it doesn't sound anything like the songs. That's like I don't even bother anymore. Touring, I mean, you know, any artist will tell you it's kind of like the epitome of, I don't know, it's connecting with people. And one of the things that I can safely say is that, you know, I've experienced a great deal, especially, you know, at an early age. And, you know, I think the beatbox was very much the tool for that. I wouldn't change a fucking thing. It fucking is great, you know. And it's just one of those things, and I'm grateful for it now, because now, you know, I'm here, you know, 10 years on, I'm still doing my thing. I'm on like my third album, I'm working on my third album now, and half the process has been taken care of just through the enjoyment of doing something which nowadays is deemed as quite a lot of work to some people. It's like, well, you know, the hard work's done for me and I'm ready to do more, you know? Yeah, I mean, sometimes I go to some countries which are so out of the way, some areas in the world that you don't even, you know, would never even begin to grasp English, and I just beatbox for like, you know, on a big sound system, and next thing, you know, people remember that, you know, and equally they remember you as being British, or they remember you being a European, you know, so that in itself for me is more than enough, you know. As far as I'm concerned, I'm pro-European. I'm British, and you know, I'm definitely out to make as much noise and commotion as possible. General reactions to the beatbox system. It's a mix. Nowadays I get so many different kind of fragments in my audience. Some people know the songs, some people know the music, and some people know me from other things, and beatboxing is also a huge part of that as well. You know, I won't be doing so many songs today, so it's definitely a beatbox thing. I would imagine there's going to be a fair few people that have never seen me before, which is going to be dope. No, I still don't feel like, you know, those things now, I realise that, you know, have all been kind of in passing, because they're amazing things, and they're most definitely step-ups and great moments, and I've really enjoyed, but I still have like greater goals, and there's bigger goals to achieve, and you know, until I'm satisfied, that's when the pillage will be over.
Okay, so when
I really enjoy working with artists, you know. I don't like working on my own. I'm really shit at it. I hate working on my own. I like working with other people, and I like learning things, you know. The moment you stop learning and it doesn't become fun, you know. So people ask me, you know, what happens when you go in the studio? It's like, well, I don't know. Let's see next time, you know. I don't know what. Yes, that's the best bit of that. said, there's no written rules. So some days I'll come up with a melody that's like all vocal scratched, or it could be, you know, all sound effects based. But then you put like a nasty bass line from a you know, a synthesizer on it. Then on top of that I'll do a beat, and then, you know, maybe some real drum hi-hats, or, you know, add a vocal something here and there. Before you know it, you've got yourself a vibe. You know, so that's the writing process. As soon as I've gone to the writing process, then I start doing the lyrics, seeing where I can put sound effects, where I can change my voice, where I can do a scratch, where, you know, and it's kind of a process where I'm trying to thread the beatbox into my vocal, you know, and trying to find ways in which you can convey it across without going beatbox on it. It needs to sound like you're that sound machine that's putting across words. That's what I'm trying to do. And then after we've done that, then we have other producers that you can take it to, and, you know, my boy Alan Brax, or Clips, or Martin Russian, or James Badlands. You know, there's loads of different people that we work with, and I enjoy working with, and we start getting creative after that, and then the track just goes somewhere else. So it really is a case of everything starts from me and starts from the beatbox. Sometimes the beatbox is a fundamental focus, a front feature of the track. Other times it's in the back, but that's the beauty of the songs. You know, it's the whole Killa Kela thing as opposed to just a beatbox thing. You know. I've done a lot of different things, man. I don't know how I perceive myself. I kind of go and thing. I like to think of myself as a multi-vocalist. I'm an artist, and more importantly, I'm an entertainer. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, whether it's voiceovers, you know, sound effects for video games, or you know, top 10, top 20 singles, right through to albums and live shows. You know, that's me. I'm the biggest virus you're ever likely to have. You know what I mean? I'm bigger than I've ever been, and I'm everywhere you've never been. I'd say silence, man. I'm really shit at silence. I hate being on my own. I hate not being with people and noise, you know. When that tinnitus kicks in, man, when they're ringing in the ears, when it's silent, that's the worst sound in the world. I can't do that. It's a pleasure. I enjoyed that. Thank you very much.